today's episode of the Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast, where we offer actions and steps you can take today to start supporting and balancing your hormones. This is your podcast host, Leah Brueggemann. I am honored and excited to be your guide on your way to better understanding your hormone health and how it affects your everyday life. I am so excited to talk to you guys today about the power of your cycle. Now, you're over here going, all I've ever learned about my cycle is that it's frustrating. I hate getting a period. It sucks, blah, 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 blah. I wish that I would just get a letter every single month that was like, you're not pregnant, great. I'm sorry, that always cracks me up. I hope that it cracks you up too. Okay, but let's talk about your cycle. Oh my goodness. So, first of all, you have a cycle that is not one day. It is however long your cycle is. Is it 28 days? Do you have a 26-day cycle? Do you have a 33-day cycle? Okay? Pretty much anything is normal within 20 or is typical between 26 and 36 days, okay? I know you've always heard, "Oh my gosh, my cycle has to be 28 days." That is not true. It is not true. That is a myth, okay? So, let's talk about the different phases of your cycle and what each one holds, because each one has a superpower and I'm so excited, okay? Now, disclaimer. You do not have the 24-hour cycle like a man does, right? Okay? We're just going to get that out of there, okay? So, you should not be expected and you should not expect of yourself to show up every single day the same as you did the day before or the week before, because hello, you have different hormones at this time. Now, I'm not saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a hormonal person. I'm having such a hard day because I'm a hormonal person." That's where that whole like Shark Week thing came from. PMSing. Oh my gosh, I'll come back and talk to you later when you're not PMSing. That makes me so frustrated when I hear that, because you shouldn't have PMS symptoms. Something that is not normal, it's so common, but not normal, has become a joke. Instead of investigating and figuring out why you have PMS symptoms, it's literally just become standard. It's a joke. Like, everybody has PMS symptoms. If you're a girl, you have horrible periods, you have PMS symptoms, you have mood swings, and it's a joke. That frustrates me so bad, because that should be a sign. It's your body telling you something is wrong. Go check it out. Go fix it, okay? That's a topic for another day. But what I want to talk to you right now is about the different powers, superpowers that you have at the different phases of your cycle. And the reason why I say this is that if you can, and some of these things are flexible, you should plan them around different parts of your cycle, because you will be more productive. Okay, so enough of the tantalizing. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Drum roll, please. Okay, so menses is the start of your period. Is the start of your cycle. But I'm going to be honest, guys, I also think about my period as the ending of something. I know you're bleeding, it's the start of something new, but I'm going to be honest, I also think about it as the end of something, like wrapping up. I don't know. That's just how my brain works, right? So your period is a great time to reflect. Okay. Do you naturally on your period go, "What on earth am I doing with my life? Should I change my job? Am I doing what I'm supposed to? Am I a good mom? Am I a good wife? Am I doing a good job? I am not as far along as I thought I should be. I should have a house by now, blah, 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 blah." Do you notice that a lot of those things start to creep up on your period? Yeah, it's pretty normal, because your period is a time of reflection. It's a time where you tend to look back, you go a little bit more inward, and you just kind of think about things, right? So if you do have something that keeps coming up every period, like, "I hate my job, what am I doing with my life?" Okay, maybe after the third period, maybe don't make this decision on your period, but maybe the week after, maybe you should really assess whether or not you should still be at that job. I'm just saying, okay? So some other things that I think are really good to do on your period is to kind of look back at your whole month and what went well, what didn't go well. So if you're in business, what went well, what didn't go well, what systems maybe need to be changed, what needs to be changed with your client onboarding, what did you feel like lit you up on fire? If you're a mom, or maybe you're both, what went really well with the kids? What went really well with your husband? What do you feel like you would like to change? Maybe set some goals and some intentions for the new month. Maybe do some journaling. Maybe take a day to yourself, right? Do some self-care on your period. Not because you're so fatigued that you can't even function, but because your body is shedding a uterine lining. That is why. I don't know why we don't literally understand that we're shedding a uterine lining, so we shouldn't be expected to run around like crazy people all day. Literally just take some time for yourself. It's okay, right? Okay. So, that's pretty much what you can expect on your period. You may start to feel some creative juices start to flow as you head right into your follicular phase. Oh my goodness, you guys. The best way I can describe this is your Beyonce phase, okay? So you are going to be the most creative during this time. This is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the best way I can explain it. If you ever feel like you sign up for that marathon, or you decide that you're going to take all the kids on a field trip at one time, and the neighbors' kids and your friends' kids, and then 1 week later you go, I really don't want to run a marathon. Those follicular phase vibes gotcha, okay? So use this time to the best of your advantage. If you love working out, this is a great time to find some new classes. Maybe do some workout classes, try out some new workouts. You're just going to want to try things. So why not? This is when, set up some social dates, go on some coffee dates, take your kids out, do fun things, play at the playground, do play dates, all of that stuff. If you're a business owner, oh my goodness, you guys, write your content during this time, get your live videos recorded, your audience is going to pick up on this energy and you're just going to be oozing with it. It's when you want to set some goals for your business, brainstorm things. This is a great time for it, okay? And then you head into your ovulatory phase, you guys. This is the queen of communication phase. Okay, you're going to be way more empathetic with people. Your communication skills are going to be extremely heightened, okay? You're also going to have a little bit of that sassy vibe. So if you have been waiting to ask for a raise, this is a fabulous time to do it. If you are wanting to have a deeper conversation with your kids, this is a fabulous time to do it. Your conversation skills are going to be very much heightened. If you've been waiting to have a hard conversation with somebody because you're a little bit scared, this is a great time to do it. If you are a business owner, you guys, this is your time to network. I love closing off launches during this time, because this is a great time to ask for the sale. You're going to have a lot more of that forward sassy energy. Let's see, what else would you want to do? Coffee dates, you guys. If you want to do speaking events, this is a great time to plan them. You're just going to be much more social. You're going to be much more into networking. You're going to be much more wanting to talk. You're going to be much more outward facing, have all of this energy. It's a great time to go on a date. You're probably going to care a lot more about how you look. So, use that to your advantage. And then we head into our luteal phase, right? This is, maybe not everybody's favorite phase, especially if you're dealing with hormonal issues. Okay, this phase we like to call our Adele phase, because you really go inward a little bit, okay? You maybe want to do a little bit more yoga. You maybe want to do a little bit more bubble baths. Maybe you don't want to say yes to all those social networking events. That's okay, okay? If you're a business owner, this is when you do your back end stuff. This is when you do the back end part of your launch. You take all your content that you created and you multiply it and you put it out on platforms. Because maybe you don't want to show up on stories. Maybe you don't want to be as social and do as many networking things. You know, it is what it is. This is also, okay, you guys, the time when you will feel an urge to deep clean your closet or deep clean your house. You can kind of think about it as pre-nesting before your period. Literally, if you get an urge to clean your closet, this would be the time you would get it, and this would be the time to finish it out because you have that desire to do that. Great time to clean out your computer. So this is a time though when you don't want to do too many social events because you are just not going to have as much social energy. And that's not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing. So you want to slow down your workouts as well. You want to make sure that you're just, giving enough time for recovery, all of those good things, okay? So those are kind of the superpowers of each one of your phases so that you can tap into them. Now, I know that there is such a thing called life, and you can't just plan everything around your menstrual cycle. In an ideal world, we would, but some things you can, speaker events or maybe coffee dates or maybe like trips you're going to plan with the kids or dates with your husband or anything like that. Take a look at your cycle, like look at your calendar. And you can mark where you're at in your cycle and, plan in advance, my dear. Now, the one thing that I want to talk about that I think is so important is slowing down right before your period and on your period. And I hear you going, excuse me, Leah, you expect me to slow down? Do you understand how many things I have to do? And Leah looks at you. I wish you could see my face right now. And I'm going to tell you, would you rather show up at 80% for a couple days of your cycle? A couple days, you guys. Maybe not even a week. You're going to take a little bit more time for you. You're maybe going to do some bubble baths with, of course, non-toxic ingredients. You're going to go on some more walks. You're going to do some reading. You're maybe not going to do as much socializing, okay? So that you can show up 120 the rest of your cycle. Or would you rather push through because you want to do that and you show up 60% your whole cycle? When you push through in your luteal phase and your period, and you just take all of the drugs if you're having PMS symptoms, by drugs, you guys, I mean Midol or Advil. And we're going to talk about that at a different time. And you just push through and you just chug all the caffeine. You are borrowing from next week's energy. Okay? So it is okay to slow down and give yourself some space for a few days out of your cycle so that you can show up that much more powerfully the rest of your cycle. It does not make you weak. It does not make you weak. Instead, it makes you strong because you are understanding your body and you are giving it what it needs so that you can show up for everyone else in your life. Okay? I can repeat that. You need to take time for you. And I know you feel selfish and I know you feel frustrated because you're like, I don't have time to do that. You guys, make the time, or your cycle will force you to make time for it. Okay? You will show up so much more powerfully, so much more productive in that follicular phase and in your ovulatory phase and your luteal phase if you take a little bit of time to just slow down at the end of your luteal phase and your period, okay? Especially if you are a business owner, I know you feel like you just need to keep going and you need to prove something, and let me tell you, you do not. You step into your superpower of using your cycle, and you will be so much more productive than anybody else around you. Because you will know, instead of fighting through something on your luteal phase and you can't get it, you can't get the wording, you don't understand why you can't do this, you're like, you know what? In 1 week, when I'm in my follicular phase, I'm going to have all of the creative juices. So instead, I'm going to take my time and put it to something else. And I'm going to come back to this. And then look at all that time you saved. Look at all that frustration you saved. Look at all the goodness you just spread around you by not getting hangry and angry because you couldn't figure something out. Instead, you understand that maybe things just aren't going to be flowing as well in your luteal phase, and you're going to wait to do that project later on. Or maybe you need to do some deep cleaning organization and you are just dreading it and you are frustrated and you go, you know what? I'm going to have a much more successful time getting this done in my luteal phase, so I'm just going to wait and I'm going to do something else with my time now. That is working smarter and not harder. So you are not weak. You are not stupid for slowing down and working with your cycle. Instead, you are strong and you are smart. Now, moms, I can hear you going, Leah, my kids are not going to allow me to slow down. And I'm going to go, yes, they will. You just plan it. Just plan it into your month, Maybe this is the month they go to grandma's for a day. Or maybe this is the month, Dad is going to take them on a hiking trip. I literally am just spitballing here. Whatever it is, just maybe they're going to have some arts and crafts and some more quiet time, but you just plan in some sort of activity, something that's just going to allow you to chill. Maybe you guys do some baking together. I'm just saying, whatever it is, plan to slow down a little bit in that luteal phase and give yourself a rest day. Plan some more self-care during that luteal phase and your period, especially if you know that you have more social engagements because you couldn't do anything about it. You have more social engagements. You know that your recovery time is going to be harder. Maybe you're going to feel more zapped from them, and that's okay. You're going to know why. Okay, so instead of getting frustrated and being like, why am I so zapped from hanging out with my friends when typically I love hanging out with them? You're going to go, okay, I'm about to start my period. I just, don't have as much energy for social engagements, and that's okay. I'm going to end the day with a magnesium bath with some magnesium flakes, and I'm going to light some non-toxic candles, and I'm going to put on a non-toxic face mask, and I'm just going to chill. Or maybe you're going to get a massage, or maybe you're going to do some stretching, or maybe you're going to do a nice, wonderful skincare routine and read a book. Whatever it is, do it so that you can relax, okay? So that you can show up better for the rest of your cycle. Alrighty, guys, I hope that you learned something super interesting about your cycle in this, and you're going to take it and apply it. And I'm so excited to see all of the productivity that's going to come from you by working smarter and not harder. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to share it with a friend and post it on your stories and tag Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast so we can get this message out. You can find me on Instagram at Leah_BRUEG, and I would absolutely love to hear from you.